10 WNBA records. One night, and by the time this game ended, Marina Mabrey wasn't even the best player in her own arena, according to her own fans. Caitlyn, Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Kelsey Mitchell of the Indiana Fever walked into Toronto and started checking off WNBA history one bucket at a time. But the record book isn't even the craziest part of this story. Stick around, because what happened to Mabrey by the end of the fourth quarter is the kind of karma you can't script. Show your love for Caitlyn by commenting CC Record Breaker.
You just look at the last 6 games. She's putting on historic performances every single game just about. And we talking about most valuable player that's playing good team ball, not good one-on-one ISO is just me ball. No, good team ball, great team ball. Look at this. We starting from this one, 20 and 8, 26, 11, 22 and 10. And we don't even count the rebounds. 29 and 10, 26 and 9, 24 and 7.
Walk into that arena in Toronto before tip-off, and you'd swear half the building couldn't decide who they came to watch. One side is decked out in tempo teal, doing the whole expansion team thing, cheering for a franchise that's barely a year old. The other side is holding up Caitlyn Clark signs, wearing number 22 jerseys that have nothing to do with the home team. That's the scene in Canada on August 18th, and it tells you everything about where the WNBA is right now.
Yo, what's going on? This is the Caitlyn Clark effect. Take a look at this. Like, I know Toronto loves themselves a line, but this is next level. Clearly, Toronto's got the fever.
This isn't just another road game for Indiana. The Fever are in the middle of a 5-game road trip, riding a win streak that's got everybody in the league paying attention. And Toronto's crowd, as new and as loud as they are, is about to get a real lesson in what happens when a team peaks at the right time. Because this Fever group isn't just Clark anymore. It's Mitchell heating up. It's the whole roster clicking. And Toronto is about to be the team standing across from it when the record book gets rewritten.
You want a little more history? Clark and Mitchell have both scored 20 tonight. It's their 16th game this season where they both scored 20, breaking a tie, the most such games by a duo in a single season. What a move from Clark, fading, taking, and dropping it in.
Now here's something worth sitting with before the ball even goes up. Marina Mabrey and Caitlyn Clark have history, and not the friendly kind. Rewind to earlier in the 2025 season, and you'll remember Mabrey catching Clark with a cheap shot that had the whole league talking. The kind of play that gets replayed for days because it's got nothing to do with basketball.
That's what Clark didn't like. And then Mabrey came in with a bump.
And Mabrey's day is almost assuredly going to be done. But both teams...
And it wasn't just her. All game long, Toronto's defenders are hitting the Fever with hard fouls and body checks that go way past physical, the kind of stuff that makes you wonder what the officials are actually watching. But Indiana doesn't flinch. From the opening tip, the Fever look like a team that came to handle business, not trade shoves. Quick buckets in transition, Clark already threading passes to teammates before the first media timeout. The offense humming like it's the fourth quarter of a playoff game instead of the first few minutes of a road trip stop. You can feel it building already, that sense that something's coming, that the physical stuff Toronto's trying isn't going to be enough to slow this down. By the final buzzer, this building sounds nothing like it did at tip-off, and that's not an exaggeration, that's exactly what happens. Records fall, tempers flare, and a night that starts with a divided crowd ends with one team's own fans doing something nobody could have predicted. But before any of that, it all starts with Kelsey Mitchell, and a streak that's about to make WNBA history all by itself.
Mitchell underneath with the reverse.
It's like you get on an island and then let Kelsey Mitchell take it under 10 on the shot clock.
Here is Mitchell, shot clock at 12. Oh, she hits a three! Kelsey Mitchell on fire! Shot clock and game clock essentially level. Fever can take the last shot of the quarter. Mitchell the fake. Mitchell right up the gut and gets it to go.
Come on, Pat.
Kelsey Mitchell putting on the move.
What does it take to do something no player in WNBA history has ever done across any season, ever? Turns out you just need 24 minutes and the kind of shooting night Kelsey Mitchell brought to Toronto on August 18th. Mitchell's been cooking all season, and everybody in the league knows it by this point. She catches the ball off a screen, barely squares up, and it's already going in. And Toronto's defense has no answer for it all night. Walking into this game, she's got 19 straight games scoring 20 or more points, which ties her with A'ja Wilson for the longest streak like that in the league history. So the whole building knows what's on the line here, even the fans in tempo gear who came to cheer against her.
I mean, she just doesn't miss. It's pretty incredible. Like, she's the best scorer in the league, hands down. It's not even close. Like, she just makes the game of basketball really pretty and really pure, and it's fun to, like, be in the backcourt with her. Like, I swear I just swing the rock, and it's, like, an automatic assist, and, like, it's fun just, like, getting to watch her do her thing, and it's fun to see, like, the joy and the passion that she has for the game. Like, she truly loves the game. She loves her teammates. She loves, you know, getting to compete and work every single day. Like,
Then it happens. Mitchell catches fire early, and by the time she buries a mid-range jumper in the second quarter, she's done it. 20 straight games of 20-plus points, and now that record belongs to her alone. No more tie with Wilson, no more sharing the top spot. Just Mitchell, by herself, at the top of a list that spans every season the WNBA has ever played. And she's not done, because the same night she hits 2,000 career field goals made, a mark that puts her name next to the most efficient scorers the league has ever produced. That's not a streak. That's a career's worth of buckets piling up game after game, season after season, until the number itself becomes historic.
Mitchell, jitterbug, into the teeth of the defense, and one! How did she do that?
Second in the league in scoring behind A'ja Wilson.
Mitchell launches and buries a three!
Come on.
Run the numbers on this specific performance and it gets even harder to believe. Mitchell drops 29 points in just 24 minutes of playing time, which means she's doing this kind of damage in barely half a game. That's not just hot shooting. That's an efficiency level that turns a really good night into a night nobody in league history has ever matched. This is where you start to realize the streak was never a fluke to begin with. 20 straight games isn't one lucky shooting night stretched out. It's proof that Mitchell's turned into one of the most consistent scorers this league has ever seen, night in and night out, whether she's got 30 shot attempts or barely 15. Teams know it's coming and still can't stop it. And that's the part that should scare the rest of the WNBA heading into the playoffs.
she truly, like, just puts her head down and, like, goes. Like, there's no extracurricular with her. Like, it's basketball, and, you know, she's going to have her teammates back. And it's just been fun to obviously watch her evolution from when I first got here. And obviously a lot of these moments, like, you know, they're for her. Like, they're special. Like, she's been through, you know, the worst of times with this organization. So I'm just really happy she's playing her best basketball right now, and she just continues to top, you know, the last night, and just keeps it moving forward, which really just happy for her.
And if you think that's the headline of the night, wait until you hear what Caitlyn Clark did on her own. Because 6 records from one player in one single game is next. How does one player end up with 6 different WNBA records from a single game? Most players go their whole career and never touch one. Caitlyn Clark just casually collected 6 of them in Toronto, and by the third quarter you could tell the broadcast crew was running out of graphics to keep up with her.
Caitlyn Clark looking for her first points tonight. Shakes Rice, fades, fires, and hits.
Before all their injuries, I thought Toronto was leaning towards being a playoff team.
Clark, step back, buries a 3! Clark, driving, flips it up, gets the roll, and one, Caitlyn Clark.
Every few minutes, another milestone pops up on screen, and it starts feeling less like a basketball game and more like a highlight reel that keeps rewriting itself in real time. First up, her 4th Player of the Week award of the season, which puts her ahead of reigning MVP A'ja Wilson, who's got 3. That's not just one big night, that's a whole season of being the best player on the floor, week after week, while everybody else tries to keep pace. Then come 2 records back-to-back. Clark becomes the fastest point guard in WNBA history to hit 700 points in a season. And in that same stretch, she ties the longest 20-point scoring streak by a point guard the league has ever seen. 2 records, same position, same game, and neither one is close to a fluke when you look at how she's been playing all year.
Indiana looking to restabilize here with it down to 4. And Clark, big bucket for 3.
And the tempo are moving the basketball.
Clark launches and hits.
Starting to see a big basket. But a well executed too.
Clark spinning inside, fades, fires and hits.
Record number 4 comes from pure consistency. Clark posts 20 or more points and 5 or more assists for the 6th straight game, tying a record she set earlier this year back in June. So the only competition for that record is her own name from a few months ago, which tells you exactly where the bar sits in this league right now. 5th record puts her in a club with exactly 1 member before tonight, and that member is also her. Clark reaches 700 points and 250 assists in the same season, and the only other player to ever do that is Caitlyn Clark in 2024. Nobody else in WNBA history has even come close to putting both numbers together in 1 year.
Round of applause, 4th Conference Player of the Week for Caitlyn Clark. We all know she is an amazing shooter, an excellent point guard, but what I personally love is how she continues to improve each and every year, and I'll show you exactly how she gets it done. Run the tape, baby! Because Caitlyn, first, it's the mid-range. She's already made 32 mid-range shots. You see her getting the pin down in the corner. That's more than her first 2 seasons combined, and once you're late, it's already down. It's straight cash money. Nice shot.
6th record zooms out to her whole career, and this is the one that should stop you in your tracks. Through just 85 career games, Clark already has more points than Wilson or Diana Taurasi had at the same point in their careers, more assists than any player in league history, more threes than anyone who's ever played, and more triple-doubles than anyone, period. Stack all 6 of these next to each other, and it stops looking like a hot night and starts looking like a full section of the record book with 1 name attached to every line. This isn't hype, and it's not some broadcast exaggerating a good performance for ratings. It's 6 separate verified entries into WNBA history, all from 1 player in 1 single game in Toronto of all places.
And then she's also improved with her reads. Normally she can light things up, but she's patient. This is what I call a good to great. She's so great that all eyes are on her. She doesn't settle for the 3. She instead is gonna find her teammates and keep them involved. Great finish by Aaliyah Boston. And then last but not least, I mean, she's such a great reader of the game, but also look at her, push back and these assists. Again, she could shoot that, but instead she finds her teammate and she's transferring the energy to her because in this matchup, she had a career high. So she's keeping everyone involved.
Clark isn't chasing history at this point. She's writing it in real time, 1 quarter at a time, and the numbers back up every single word of it. But she wasn't doing this alone, because right behind her stat line sits a duo record with Mitchell, and a franchise mark that's been standing since Indiana's very first winning season. Back in 2008, Diana Taurasi and Cappie Pondexter put up a number that stood for almost 2 decades, both hitting 20 or more points in the same game 15 times that season. Nobody touched it for 17 years. Then Clark and Mitchell show up in Toronto and bury it without even celebrating, because for them, it's just Tuesday. This is their 16th game this season with both scores going for 20+, and no backcourt duo in league history has ever hit that number. Not Taurasi and Pondexter, not anybody.
Mitchell, you bet! Mitchell knocks it away. Will lay it in. Clark, lot of space, drains another. Clark into the paint, separates, and knocks down the mid-range. Boston, what a look. Mitchell the lay on a beautiful play. Oh, Clark got bumped, still flips it in. Big-time bucket from Caitlyn Clark.
And tucked right behind that record, almost like it's trying not to get noticed, is another one. Indiana ties its own franchise record for wins in a season, sitting at 24, a mark that's been standing since the team's very first great year. 2 records, same game, and neither one comes easy, because Toronto isn't playing clean basketball out there. The physical stuff starts early and doesn't let up. Hard fouls, bodies flying into screens, contact that should be getting whistled and mostly isn't. And by the second quarter, it's clear the referees are letting a lot of this go. Toronto's defenders are hunting for contact all night, and the no calls start piling up right alongside the buckets.
And it's not just a normal situation that's happening when Caitlyn's playing. It's a historic situation because look at this, over 40 points created, which is the most by a single player in WNBA history. So this is a historic season for CC22 as well.
Marina Mabrey's right in the middle of all of it, and if you've followed this rivalry at all, none of this comes as a surprise. She's built a reputation around extra shoves after the whistle, jaw-jacking with opponents, screens that come in a little harder than they need to, and Clark's been on the receiving end of it more than once this year. Tonight, she's not the only Fever player getting tested, and she's not the only one who decides enough is enough.
Clark just is able to lead Mitchell so beautifully on those back cuts. Sky to Sheds, Clark can't lay it in, and it's out of bounds off of Toronto. Got to shed it Clark by having her arm right in Caitlyn Clark's neck. Clark was looking for the offensive.
Sophie Cunningham gives her answer with the ball in her hands. She drops 13 points on a perfect 3 for 3 from behind the arc. And that kind of shooting night puts her second in the whole league in three-point efficiency. That's not just a hot streak. That's Cunningham turning Toronto's physical game plan into free points on the scoreboard.
An 8-second violation, and then Toronto just hands it back to Indiana, and Cunningham delivers the exclamation points.
That ball is right in the pocket. And look how quickly Sophie Cunningham gets it out of her hands. What a play.
Then Mitchell handles her business directly. After Mabrey tries some extra contact away from the ball, Mitchell shoves back and gets right in her face, words flying both ways until the officials step in and hand out technical fouls to both of them. Nobody backs down, and for a second, the whole arena forgets there's a basketball game happening. This is where Indiana stops just taking the hits and starts trading them back, shot for shot, shove for shove, no more absorbing whatever Toronto throws their way. 2 more records land right in the middle of this stretch. The duo mark and the franchise win total, and both of them come through contact, not around it. Mabrey thinks she's controlling the game with her attitude. She's about to find out her own fans saw it differently.
How are you able to withstand everyone and secure this win?
Yeah, I want to give Toronto their flowers. What a great environment for women's basketball. It's a hell of a crowd. It's a lot of fun to play in front of. Sandy Brondello is doing a great job. Marina, and now they have Sykes back. I want to give them their flowers because they're a hell of a squad. But you know what? Kelsey kind of went out for a second, so we all had to step up, knock down our shots. We weathered the storm a little bit, and so that's just part of building it and the growth that we're showing right now.
What happens when the home team's own player gets booed in her own building? It happened to Marina Mabrey, right after she tried to bully Kelsey Mitchell in front of everybody. The arena shifts fast after that Mitchell-Mabrey confrontation. Boos start raining down on Mabrey, and they're not coming from the Clark fans scattered around the building. They're coming from Toronto's own crowd. People who paid money to watch their home team win are turning on their own player in real time, and you can hear it get louder every time Mabrey touches the ball for the rest of the night.
Caitlyn Clark.
Outside the arena after the final buzzer, the scene gets even stranger. Fans line up in numbers, but they're not waiting for tempo players to sign anything. They're waiting for Clark, some of them holding Toronto gear and asking her to sign it anyway, which is about as clear a message as a crowd can send without saying a word. A few fans straight up admit they came hoping to get Clark's autograph over their own team's star, and nobody seems embarrassed about it. In the middle of all this, Mitchell exits the game early with an overheating issue, which is a real concern on a 5-game road trip with games piling up night after night. It's not a moment to panic over, though. It's the cost of carrying a 20-game scoring streak through arena after arena, city after city, with barely any rest in between. Her body's cashing the check her legs have been writing all season, and Indiana's staff pulls her for precaution, not because something's seriously wrong.
Because they're so thin, No Niara Sabali, no Julie Alamon. Oh, Clark got bumped, still flips it in, puts the foul. Big time bucket from Caitlyn Clark and a chance for three.
Caitlyn Clark has gotten so good at getting touches in the paint and then finishing, just absorbing contact. That time gets hit, keeps her eyes on the rim, opportunity for the and one. Just a different level of aggressiveness.
Clark's not done for the night once the final horn sounds either. She spends time signing for fans around the building, engaging with a Toronto crowd that showed up to cheer against her and left cheering for her instead. Jersey color stops mattering to these fans the moment they watch her play in person. And that's not an accident. That's what happens when someone puts on a show like this one. Mabrey wanted to be the disruptor tonight. She wanted to get under Indiana's skin, throw some extra contact, get the crowd riled up against Clark and Mitchell. Instead, she ends up the least popular person in her own arena, booed by her own fans, and outshined at her own autograph table by the player she tried to rattle all game long. Final score reads 101-95, Fever win, 5th straight on a road trip that's chewing up every team unlucky enough to host them. 10 records fall in one single game, and somehow the loudest statement of the night isn't even a stat. It's Toronto's own crowd turning their backs on their own player just to chase down Caitlyn Clark for a signature. Poise just beat bullying, right in front of the bully's own fans, in the bully's own building. 10 records in one night doesn't happen by accident. It happens when a team's got a superstar peaking, a scorer like Mitchell locked in, and role players like Cunningham hitting shots when it matters most. That's not luck. That's a full roster clicking at the same time. Clark's MVP case just got louder, and this win streak is looking like a real launchpad toward the 2026 playoffs. So stick around, because if Toronto tested them this hard, the next stop won't be easy either. Show your love for Caitlyn by commenting CC Record Breaker. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications as we're bringing you all the action and top stories. Click the video on the screen and we'll see you in the next one.